These are children who survived at Auschwitz. Their parents and relatives had been murdered by poison gas. Most of them have forgotten their names, and have nothing left to identify them except the numbers the Nazis tattooed on their arms.
Now over there was a lot of killing, starving, dying of cold, which in the winter came down to 40 below zero.
In 1941, 22nd June, come bomb to Kiev. And people go to place where they can cover it, be safe. In Kiev, they killed 130,000 Jewish people.
Холокост почувствовали мои старшие, мама, бабушка, в том плане, что мы уже жили на Украине, отношение к нам, к сожалению, было не самое лучшее. Да и потом, мы были не евреи, мы были жиды. Вот такова действительность.
100,000 people, can you believe, in Kiev, and they go take off all things, take off, stay naked. And then they kill children, husband, men, women, 100,000. It was terrible.
Благодаря.
Покороче, не волнуйтесь.
Благодаря мужеству моей мамы выжила я. Мне было несколько месяцев.
Our group, we were marched. You heard of the March of Dead? That was one of them too. Marching from one town to the other, in the winter, in the cold. I was a baby. My mother carried me, and when she tired, my grandmother took over, and that's how I survived. And I survived also only from nursing my starving mother. All the time, all that time. I had all the diseases you could think of. How I got out of it, I would say it's a miracle.
Josh Martino sent me an article that he read about Holocaust survivors living within our region that were struggling to get the right food and to get healthy food. And I was shocked to even realize that there were that many living Holocaust survivors right here in Northeast Florida, but even more disturbed to realize that so many of them were living below the poverty line.
I'm the grandchild of Holocaust survivors. Both my grandparents on my mother's side were separated into different camps and nearly starved to death. I lost more than half of my family on that side to the concentration camps. Fortunately, they did survive and met up after the war and found each other and had my mom.
I said to Josh, we need to create a program to meet this need, and we ought to do it and have it self-funded from within the Jewish community. So even though Feeding Northeast Florida has the logistics and the capability to solve the problem, we ought to have the funds for that problem come from within our own community and reach out to the people we know and just solicit private donations for it. He liked the idea, and the two of us put the program together in short order.
The food program was launched a year ago. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary, and it's a partnership with Feeding Northeast Florida. When they knew there were issues with food insecurity, they jumped in to collaborate with us to figure out a way to make sure that our survivors were getting nutritious food.
We have the privilege of serving right now 104 Holocaust survivors that live in Northeast Florida. I think it's about 60 of our 104 receive food. They all are eligible, and then we are able to deliver food to them as well, which is crucial for those that are homebound.
I'm a volunteer driver for Jewish Family Services. To a group of Holocaust survivors on Wednesdays, I deliver food from Feeding Northeast Florida. The first Wednesday and the third Wednesday of each month, I go to a central location of Jewish Family Services, Feeding Northeast Florida delivers 3 large pallets of food. One pallet contains basically dry goods. One will have fruit and vegetables, and the other will have frozen fish. Each person that I deliver food to will get 3 bags, one of each of those.
It's been great to collaborate with Feeding Northeast Florida and say, you know, they really take into account what's good for our clients. We have a lot of clients, you know, diabetic, different issues that come as they're aging. Another thing that I think has really been awesome is the cultural sensitivity about the food that we get and we're receiving. We try to be, as case managers, very cognizant about what religiously and culturally are important to our clients. We're able to collaborate with Feeding Northeast Florida to try to provide those things.
The logistics really are no different than what we do on a normal day-to-day basis. It's identifying the need, which is step one, identifying how logistically to get a specific amount of food or the right type of food from our food bank to where the need is. And so that's what we do best.
I see it firsthand because I do also volunteer to deliver foods to the needy, which is to the Holocaust survivors that came here. Most of them came from Russia. When the wall came down, they were allowed to leave in the 80s. And we have quite a few Holocaust survivors, but they are all elderly people.
It's very positive, and everybody happy when they have that. As people who come every 2 weeks, and when they come before, it's ring on the phone, and voice Marinas say, be ready, after 2 weeks it will be new packet with food. So we were ready, we always ready.
На некоторые деликатесы, которые я получаю, я, пожалуй, не смогла бы купить в магазине. Это серьезная помощь. Витамины, овощи, сальмон. Все это значительная помощь в моем рационе.
The Holocaust survivor demographic is a different demographic, but I think most people perceive that that demographic doesn't exist anymore, that they've all died out, and I think most people are shocked to find out that they're still out there. I think most people are shocked to find out that they still have these unmet needs. It was personally shocking to me, and that was the call to action when I realized that there was this unmet need that Josh Martino and I were in such a unique position to just jump to aid and fix it right away.
The biggest misconception is that they don't exist, and quite honestly they exist, and they exist in great numbers. So the need is there. It's really just a sad state that these people who survived so much are at this point in their life and may not have anyone to depend on. And so it's our job to find them, support them, feed them, take care of them, and you know, see that the rest of their lives is a lot better than the beginning of their lives.